So it is time for chapter 5. This is an interesting chapter. For those of you who are sim lovers such as myself, major key. I am super duper excited to talk about this chapter because this is something that I can not only, like, I've been talking about this, but this is before I knew about this book. So this is just only take me to another level, another height of understanding exactly what my journey is about when it comes to know thyself and thou shalt know the universe and God. When I'm done with this video, y'all gonna see new things on my wall type of things. This here is where the fun begins. Like I sat here and, you know, we talked about all the things that's making you watch out for, like, oh, typical girls game, why you getting gamed. What was the other chapters? What's it called? You know, we talked about the beginning of the awakening, the Spartan within. Hi there. We talked about how the PP lies. No, stop. We talked about how the thing lies, how men can lie to get what they want. Okay, love you and all. They could actually love you and still lie to you at the same time. We talked about he loves you, but he's just not in love with you. That's a major key of a difference to understand. We have talked about so many things. Being a typical girl. Typical girls get typical results. Talking about how saying that you're different because you got this career, you got your own house. So we talked about it a lot. And to begin this chapter, I will begin with the quote I gave in my first video. Enlightenment is not about becoming who you really are, but about unbecoming who you never were. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Because I'm excited. I'm excited, okay? Y'all should be excited because, man, let me scroll. Okay. Chapter 5, The Spartan Secret. Reality is merely an illusion. You are a collection of thoughts creating an experience. Your life is a concept that you keep repeating until you believe it to be true. Oh, I'm sorry. That was chapter 4, but it kind of goes into here too. Actually, you know what? I just said the perfect quote to introduce this chapter again. That's how real this is getting. The Spartan Secret, okay? Who are you? Honestly, like, before I even get into the rest of the notes, I want you to really think about this. If you watch this when you're not on my live, who are you? Who are you really? You know, you think about how original, you know, you are, the things that you've built up about yourself that makes you different, that makes you your own character. But who are you really? Let's not forget about mom, pa, your cousin, your brother, your best friend. Who are you? You are a collection of thoughts creating a certain experience. It's all a perception of your own creation. The only thing that's real is your thoughts. That's why they say you are the creator. You are the creator of your reality because you are the perception. Good morning. Yes, it is 12:55 a.m. where I'm at. So good morning. So being that the only thing that's real is your thoughts, that is crazy. He gives a bunch of examples talking about, think about all these different things when things went right, things went wrong. Think about your thoughts in the process of all of that. But I'm going to get into all of that right now. After you get over what you think, the crazy thing is that your mind begins to question itself. I did do this meditation before, where I, said who I am. And that really puzzles the brain, where it's kind of like breaks a barrier. It's like breaking into a new kind of skin, it felt like to really try to put it into term. It's like breaking into a new skin and feeling it. It feels different. Meditating that meditation at night, it feels completely different. But for this chapter, I am renaming myself, but not for YouTube, but for myself. I don't know, maybe I might have another YouTube one day, but for myself. Let me continue. So he says, if your consciousness is strong enough to create a whole new world in your dream, what's the difference between the dream world and the awake world? In your dreams, you'll be falling off a building and then you're afraid. It's called Men Do Not Love Women Like You by G.L. Lambert. I am just personally taking chapter by chapter, breaking down, kind of like a Sparks notes. I'm Sparks noting each chapter, what I heard, what I am bringing into it, and things like that. I would suggest everybody to get that book because it's something that you keep on your shelf for many years to come from, for many years. It's something that you can always revisit and find something, new into it. This is my second time reading the book. The first time wasn't enough. So here I am again. And the thing about school is that when you study something, you kind of remember it for a very long time. So this is what my little book series thingy is doing with these videos that's here and coming up until I'm done with the book. I'll be finishing with you guys. When I'm done with this live, if you still don't know where to get this, what's it called, I will link it in the description bar. Okay. So, what is the difference between your dream world and your awake world when you still have the same fears in your dream world as you do in your awake world? You can feel things, you can smell things in your dream world, and it all programs or, alerts your brain as the same way as if it was happening in real time. So what's really the difference between your dream world and your awake world? The only thing is you spend more time on this side. That's the only difference. You spend more time being awake. You don't spend all day dreaming, okay? Or if you do sleep a lot, maybe you don't remember all of your dreams. But you are the same character when you sleep and when you awake. Which gets me into another thing that's kind of like sliding away from my notes, but I'm just thinking about it. But they say when you die, or let's say you got ancestors, they keep the same personality. They say when you sleep, it's like you dying. You're dead. You are no longer inside of your body, especially when you reach that REM sleep and you get a chance to explore outside in the universe and seeing things and seeing all type of weird things, you are not inside your body, which is why sometimes when you wake up like too sudden, you'll feel like shaky, because they say like your soul is trying to come back to, you know, be here to be that character. I mean, to be that consciousness for this character, this meat suit. So imagine with all of your fears, you die, and now you got all the fears that you still had, but you have it in the next side of life. That's why certain ancestors you may or may not get along with. Because I know I got some. I know I got some that do not believe in what I believe in. They got a problem with what I believe in, because it's not necessarily by the good old book. Okay. So, well, but really it is, but you know, it's not the same way they see it. But that's for a whole nother discussion. So the only difference between the dream world and the awake world is that you spend more time here. If you look at quantum physics, I just read a quote today. When you look at something, it changes because your perception is on it. I have previous videos where I talk about water and how water takes in the vibration of what you think, what you say, and that will be what it tastes like. There was this, I'll give you 2 examples before I continue. There was this monk, well, he's not a monk, I don't know, he's a spiritualist. He talked about, he was talking to this very, very angry woman, and she was just sitting there probably like cussing in the whole nine, and handed him a glass of water. And what he did is that, I don't know what he said over it, but he handed back the water, and she was just astonished of how it tastes. She felt different when she tasted it. Then there's also this experiment by Dr. Imanto, where, I'm probably saying his name wrong, but Imanto, where his experiments, he had 2. I'll talk about the really, really cool one, which is with the ice. So he freezed water with names on top of them. One name he had, for instance, what's his name? Adolf Hitler. Then he had another ice that was like Amazing Grace. The Amazing Grace materialized into something beautiful. It was such a beautiful shape. If you ever study looking at like crystals or molecules very closely, it looked absolutely symmetric and perfect, and just something that you would like want to like hang somewhere. You would want to draw it. You just felt the presence of it. It was very breathtaking. Then you looked at Adolf Hitler. It was orange, kind of reddish, like a copper, and it didn't necessarily have a shape. And if anything, it looked like a singular organism that was like a disease. It looked terrible. But that is what it is. Your perception changes what you're looking at. So imagine if we're like, what is it? Not 85% water, like 95, I don't know. It's a high percentage of water that we are. So imagine if we have all that water within us, what exactly is the story that we're telling ourselves and the result of our life, our relationships, and things of that nature? Everything we call real cannot be determined as real. So, let's say, everything we call real cannot be determined as real. The universe is made to serve you. This is your dream. You know, like, I was listening to this, I don't know. I mean, I be listening to a lot of things. Okay, I was listening to this lady. She said, you know, if you're having nightmares, take action in your nightmares that fight back, and then you'll begin to do that in your wake state. And so I started to do that because, girl, man, the amount of nightmares I've had growing up, whether it be ghosts chasing me, dogs chasing me, or, you know, I'm falling off a building, I started saying, oh, this is my show. Hold up. Let me turn around. You chasing me? No, I ain't going down like that. Sit. And at first, it was like, okay, that didn't work. Tried it again. Sit. And then things started changing from there. When I got into the wake stage, it showed, like, I had that type of confidence that I knew that I could get the result that I was looking for. Yeah. So, yeah, that's one thing for you to think about if you're having nightmares, whether it be anything. You are the creator of your dream and your wake state. So see what you can do that is solution minded. That actually did make me more solution minded, because before I used to dwell on a problem for a very long time, not really get over it, just be like getting past it. You know, I'm gonna forgive you because I didn't really know why I was forgiving you, but I was gonna forgive you because that was the right thing to do. But instead, now today, I'm very much more solution minded. Maybe it was because of the practices of the dreams that taught me, you're running. Why are you running? Why are you uncomfortable in your sleep? What can you do to change that? And sometimes it starts with different things like that. And now that we know that the only difference between the dream and the wake is that you spend more time one place, that means that you're the same person in your dreams as you are in your wake state. So wherever you can get that practice in, get it in. Okay? You know, when you go to manifest things, don't go from an ego driven, but from consciousness of your true self. Because honestly, you are the observer. There is nothing out there. There's only here. So when you're thinking that there's something else outside of you, there is nothing that's outside of you that is not within. As they say, as within, as without. Let me know if I'm speaking Chinese to y'all and y'all don't know what the heck I'm talking about, because I could sit here and talk about this some more. As within, so without. That's what that means. That means that whatever you think it, so shall it be. I am that I am. You are what you think. You thinketh, so shall. No, what was that quote? I think shows. I think, so shall I be. Something like that. I forgot the exact quote. It's a very popular quote, but yes. Your life was not created for you to lose. Your life wasn't created for you to lose. You can only win in this life. And if you decide to be in a frustrated state, that's because that's what you chose. But he gets into it some more. It's about opening the engine that runs your life. The external world is a concept. The engine that runs your life is you. Not an external force, not something that you can't control, not something that you can't touch. It's you yourself. That is who runs your life. Not some Illuminati, not some what else is there? The devil, not any of it. It's you. Thank you. You know, you are the person that runs your life. You are the person that is judgment. Okay, because when you feel bad about something, nobody else feels bad. Only you feel bad. And then, you know, you got some people that may feel bad, but only you is the person that may make a difference in your life. Just like if someone cheated on somebody, right? And let's say they decided to make a reason why they cheated. They cheated because of whatever the case may be. And everybody else can sit there and be like, oh, she's a thought, she's disgusting, blah, da, 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 da. But you ask how that girl feels, how she thinks about herself. She told herself a story as to why she did what she did so she can accept who she is. And it made reason her life. She don't care. She's just going to let it go. She's going to be like, well, that's what happened. So whoops. Or you just got people that's just like, look, I don't care. Look how many guys they be married with 12 kids, cheating on the same person with like 20 different women, and he low-key got kids from all of them. What kind of story you think he's telling himself when he's coming back to you talking about, baby, I love you? What story you think he's telling himself? He doesn't feel bad. He does not feel bad that he cheated on you. Why? Oh, he got a reason why he did it. So, yes. Okay. It is overplayed. It's so overplayed. You would think that, I don't know, you would have thought that the Illuminati was equal to Jesus, how much people scared of it. Been like, you know, Illuminati's everywhere. What is the Illuminati? Santa Claus now? Like, come on. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows what are you drinking. So you better avoid fluoride for all fluoride's sake. Hey, like, come on. What are you talking about? Come on, get a grip. So, you know, think about what is it the story that you want. What is the story you want to tell yourself of who you are, whatever age you are, what is your name, and what is your movie, your scene, your script, your narration, and everything. You can create a vision board. That is what I'm low-key doing on my wall. So I'm doing that over my bed, so when I wake up, I just see it. After this chapter, I'm kind of creating a new one because something more detailed, something more specific. So, subtitle, Looking Glass. All that we are the results of our thoughts, said by the author of The Secret. What you want to happen isn't what you think would happen. Right. He talks about that because, let me continue. On the surface, you think the world is yours, you know that you have abundance. But inside, you don't really think about that. You think that the only reason why good things happen to you is because of good fortune, that you were lucky, that you were blessed, that you gave some poor man $20, so you was rewarded with $3,000 because you put yourself in a reward system. You put yourself in a reward system, like, you know, when you go shopping, oh, spend $50 today and you earn 200 points. That's what you're doing to yourself, and that's not true. Honestly, everything that you get with that 200 points will never amount to the amount of money that you actually spent. You can't really do anything with that 200 points versus that $250 that you could have been spending and got way more. At the end of the day, that thinking can be debunked 1,000 times over. He said, think about the time that you achieved something remarkable. You made up stories, BS stories of abundance in your mind of winning as an exception and not a standard, because you don't see the world as a given tree, when the world is just here to reflect who you are. I was like, I hit the L so quick. Wow. Like, you know, a lot of people try to explain this over and over and over and over again, but it's like when you listen to a bunch of spiritualists, you like, yeah, you know, the world is, you know, is the reflection of you. Doesn't really hit. this is crazy because it's really hitting, you know. Because you know what, these spiritualists, the thing that they're missing is that the people that they're talking to, they don't know that they're having boomerang thoughts behind their good thoughts. You know, you could be thinking, today I'm gonna win $500, and in the back of your head, you ain't gonna win no damn $500. You know where you live? Where you gonna win $500 from? What do you mean? What are you gonna do so you can win $500? Huh? Who you know that's gonna give you $500? Wait, like you got 1,000 other thoughts. It's like, damn, okay, all I had was that I was gonna win $500, and then reality sneaks in, and then you're like, oh, well, I guess I'm not gonna win $500, and you start feeling bad for yourself. No, 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 no. And it's true, because you think of winning as an exception and not a standard. You think of winning as winning the lottery. Like, oh my God, like, I can't believe that. Instead of thinking, yeah, we win the lottery. That's it. Like, and like really reprogramming your brain. You hope for success, but your deepest thought is negative. Your awakened life is the same as your dream state. For each forward thought, you have a backwards thought. More people have crazy dreams than happy ones. It's because your subconscious is full of anxiety, fearful thoughts, and fearful thoughts project the strongest reality. I don't know why, but it does. That's why, you feel sorry for yourself, and a bunch of crazy things like that. You think that the world out here trying to get you, that the Illuminati gonna get you when you're sleeping, they gonna kill you too, and it just could be like, you choked on your saliva, because, I don't know, like, you're wildin', there's a lot of, anyway, subtitle, Goddess Consciousness. You don't want to rock the boat because you don't want anything bad to happen. So you don't want to go out there and live your best life because you're afraid that somebody going to tell you can't. You don't want to go out there, go to your job and be like, look, I don't have to do this anymore. I can make some money somewhere else. Drop it like it's hot. Tell it that it's not, never return. And then, see what happens from there. You don't want to rock the boat because you don't want anything bad to happen. You don't want to go for the potential guy that you think that's like, wow, okay, this dude, he shows me a lot. I actually know him not because of the little stories that he gave me, but I took my time to really analyze him, like how he would have analyzed me, spit the game that he would have gave me. Now I know him like the back of my head. Now he emotionally connected. He's actually saying he loves me, and he's doing everything. I don't even have to tell him nothing. He know what's up. I ain't even have to tell him that what was up. And after everything, it's like, I'm not sitting here looking over my shoulder trying to figure out, ooh, is he, what is he, does he really love, I'm not sitting here wondering, does he really love me, does he like me? I'm not sitting here doing that because I know him like the back of my hand. You're afraid of doing that because you don't want anything bad to happen. You don't want to fall in love with somebody that's sitting here taking care of you, and then something bad happens. You don't want to sit here and be like, these examples can be endless. But at the end of the day, you get it. You don't want to rock the boat because you don't want nothing bad to happen. This is the red pill moment. If life is a game and you are the character of your own true self, then this world is one big dream state. Then how do you change it? How do you go from living a mediocre life to the best life you always wanted? Understand who you are in relation to the rest of the world, and that is where your confidence will come in. And I wrote these like just as not necessarily quotes, but things that should be your dominant thoughts. Things that you have to remember to remember. Nothing bad will happen. You will not mess up anything. And that And the game is meant to be won. This life game is meant to be won by you. You are the winner. That is the biggest achievement. If you guys ever played Sims, I mean, I'm a simmer. I'm a simmer all day. You have aspirations, and at the end of aspirations, once you reach to a certain level, you earn a trait to each aspiration that you did, and then you also get points to go with it. Now, the objective of the game is something that you can't, there's like no, oh, you win points on your team, or you get like I don't know, like any action type of game, but it's something that it just keeps going with your aspirations, and you never lose. You actually never lose in that simulation. Damn, I've been playing that game for years, and to think that that is actually me. Okay, sorry y'all, I'm hitting the elbow myself. Okay. I did not get a chance to, you know how when you thinking about something and then you really see stuff and you're like, wow, you need a moment to really process that. I just come up here after I wrote the notes, so sorry. Two things you will keep in mind that is key. In order for you to become your true self, you have to have the ability to rebrand yourself through thought. Remember that everything is mental. Everything. Law number 1. Everything is mental. All is mental. And then have the ability to remember who you are. Goddess consciousness. Remember to remember until you can detach yourself from the impatient, stress, and the lie that you are the character and not the creator. Your mind is used to resetting itself so that it can be fooled by, not fooled like ha ha ha, but full, like your cup runneth over full, by dominant thoughts. So what are your dominant thoughts? Really think about that. Like, I'm going to say here after this video, because if I say here, think about all my dominant thoughts here, we're going to be here for 5 hours. So what are your dominant thoughts? It's time to change them. You are consciousness playing a role. Don't forget it. I'm going to put that on my wall. I am consciousness playing a role. And that's how you know you'll never lose. Because who's consciousness? The creator, not the character. Now, never lie to yourself in order to get the universe to give you something that it's already in the process of doing. Like, oh, like I was saying before, it's like those church ladies who promise not to do no sins in order to get God's blessing in the end. Lord, you know I said I would stop smoking, you know, so I could receive your blessing. The only blessing you're gonna get is probably your lung health, okay? But everything else, you know, I mean, really, that's just your body rejuvenated itself. You know, you step out, you do something, you get something or whatever. That's you. That's God consciousness. That makes sense. It's boomerang thinking. It's that reward system. Spend $250 and get a $50 point card. Okay? That's what you're doing to yourself. You cheap changing. You're giving yourself the underhand. You're not giving yourself the standard. Okay? The standards should be like, let's say it's shopping, right? Imagine you go somewhere, you spend $50. Oh, you spend $50? We'll send you a bunch of things for free from our store, and you can just, you know, show it off because we're giving it to you if you want to, and then get some more free stuff. Imagine that as a store. It's crazy. But just think of it, you know, like you're not in a boomerang thinking world where you bounce off and then you get something back in return like that. That's not how it works. Like, yes, you can. No, no, no. I was gonna say you get what you give, but you know how many people out here, people sitting here, they done murdered like 20 families and they're fine. They out here living their best life. Not a stress in the world. Sitting there with a cigar. You know what? They live in their best life because consciousness is everything. They told themselves a story. Well, those people had to die, you know, and it was a very tragic event. And I really condolences to that family, you know. You know, it's such a tragic moment. You know, while they're sitting there, their hands are completely dirty, dripping in blood. I would hate to see an individual go through such a thing. Or they could say, you know, but they really deserved it. You know, they really deserved it. You know, not everyone can live forever. You listen. You are what you think. Not even what you give. You are what you think. Yes, there is cause and effect. But if you play that cause the right way, then your effect won't look like nothing. It will look like nothing. You, like I say, you say here, your hands are filthy, dripping with blood. But if you sit here with no morals and you changed your whole ideal of the story, so you sitting here, you know, on a orthopedic bed that memorizes your body temperature, sleeping nicely. While the person sitting here going to church 5 days a week and, you know, giving tithes, poor as hell. Poor as hell. Sleeping on a damn cardboard box. I mean, look, proof is in the pudding. I didn't make it. So, you can't hustle a world to give you something that it wants to give you anyway. Like it said, the universe is the reflection of you. And who are you? God is consciousness, your thoughts, your dominant thoughts, not just the little thoughts that's like, oh, you know, I'm gonna go do good today, while you got 20 other thoughts. Yeah, you okay? You okay? You gonna do good? When? Where? How? What? Why? So, you know, and believe what you want to believe. Either way, it's gonna become true. Either way, whether you believe that if, you know, whatever, you can believe anything. The world is legit yours. Not I said it, everybody said it. Not the world is yours. This is your theme park. Okay? That's the brief whole chapter. Like I said, go ahead and download the book. Of course, he goes into depths that, you know, y'all probably wouldn't want to hear me talk about, because I sit here and I pause, I jump off, come back on. Listen, get the book. It's something that, as much as I summarize it, it's nothing like actually listening to it or reading it. The next chapter's title is How to Become a Game Changer. I just started it, but that will be posted on a later date. But yeah, just like anyone, it talks about, you know, starting to rebrand who you are. Before I do get to this next chapter, which was today. Today is Wednesday, right? Today's Wednesday. I think I'll either be able to post it on a Thursday or a Wednesday night. For the time being, I'm going to give you a little hint to think about. So when you jump on my next live, I can say something and you answer it, and then we're going to get excited. All right. This is your restart, like how we said in the other chapter. This is your restart. And your restart needs a name. So either you can keep your name, or you can think of a really cool name that you've always loved. Something that you always thought was like the coolest name ever. And just think about it. And then we're going to talk about it on my next live on chapter 6 of Men Do Not Love Like Women. Thank you for tuning in. Always remember that word is bond. One love. Peace. See you guys soon.